Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. And today we've got a special episode for you. And it's going to be heavily based off Rob Walter's press conference. He gave a press conference, his first press conference, obviously, in India and ahead of the World Cup. Now, this comes shortly after the warm up game between South Africa and Afghanistan was called off. And it was obviously affected by rain. The whole match rained out. I mean, both warm-up games today was affected by rain, but the main thing that we need to understand is that obviously the South African game was called off, which is the major news that took place obviously in today, from today's perspective. But ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to watch the presser together and have a look at what was said in the press conference, because I do think that it's valuable for us to watch these things together and try to understand what the coach is trying to say, etc. Because it's always good to understand. Um, it's always good to understand what Rob is trying to say, etc. In his presses, and also try to understand what where his thinking is when it comes to the team. So on today's show, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be chatting about his presser and try to get an understanding of exactly what he is thinking heading into this match. Before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, I'd like you guys to please subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos, please. It's very important that you guys do that. Um, Sorry, guys. I also need you guys to please also download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. If you want to support us here at Cricket Fanatics magazine and everything that we do, please subscribe to our Patreon account as well. That's how you can keep everything going, because it's very important that you guys do so, because that's how you keep everything up to date here at Cricket Fanatics and keep us doing what we are doing over here. I'd also like you guys to please smash the like button, comment, and share. Also, very important that you do so. And go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. We also have available in the live chat a free book to help business people and entrepreneurs get new customers and market to them forever. It's in the description, and it's how Cricket Fanatics magazine can help businesses and entrepreneurs do exactly that. So please go ahead and check that out as well in the live chat. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I am looking forward to discussing this with you guys. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid Moedin. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. And today we want to discuss, obviously, Rob Walter's presser that he gave today in India. It's obviously a very important one. And I do think that we should discuss it and watch it together and try to get an understanding of what he's thinking. So let's go straight into it.
Objectives for this warm-up game, and then lastly, can you just talk us through what actually happened with Timber? You don't have to go in detail, but just like what would transpire when you got in India.
Yeah, I suppose from an objectives point of view, like any warm-up game in the World Cup, is obviously just to try and keep the momentum that we gained in the Australia back end of the Australia series. Continue acclimatizing. Obviously, the heat's very different that we've been exposed to compared to what it was in South Africa before coming. And yeah, just get some time on the legs. The last three games, from a bowling point of view, only went to 35 overs, so we desperately wanted to get a full 50 overs out there, but unfortunately the weather didn't play ball. Look, as far as Temba goes, there's nothing really I can say. It's a personal situation, and for personal reasons that he left the team, and we're just looking forward to him coming back next week.
Yeah, so that's obviously an update on Temba Bavuma. Just like I confirmed yesterday, it is only for the warm-up games that he'll be missing it, and they're hoping for him to come back for the full tournament afterwards.
Nathan. Who would like to take the next question? Just a reminder to please indicate in the chat panel or by raising your hand. Thanks, Stu.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Rob. I know what you've just mentioned about the bowlers, but I guess does that come down to plans a lot, because it is very different bowling in India than especially what was the case for those last two ODIs against Australia. I mean, are you happy that they'll be able to kind of make the adapting that they need to do to those conditions in the time they have left? Given that they've now missed the big game.
Again, I think the fortunate part of the series in South Africa was the fact that we were exposed to 5 different pitches, really, right from the very first game in Bloemfontein till the Wanderers at the end. So, that stands us in good stead. I think, at the end of the day, you still have to be able to respond to the conditions in front of you, have a skill set that matches the needs of the game, and be able to execute that. So, for us, it would really just be, again, reading another pitch, trying to understand what it needs from us, and then being able to execute the skill set. So, it's never great missing game time. We're fortunate that we've played just recently. You can hear the sounds of India in the background, which is awesome as always. But I think just the Australians are staying with us, and I don't think they can think of anything worse than getting on the field right now. So yeah, look, I think we're in a good position. We would have loved to have had a run out, but hopefully we get one in 2 days' time.
Okay, so that's something very important that I want to discuss over there. Okay, so I did say this after the Australia series that the one thing that was positive about it, the T20 series as well as the ODI series, is that we were exposed to different types of conditions, and conditions that are not necessarily genuinely um, normal for the grounds that they played on. Potch, Bloem, even the Wanderers and Centurion, the grounds weren't necessarily what we are used to from those perspective and from those grounds. So that gave us some good practice, obviously, heading to India. We saw that spin played its part. We struggled in the first 2 games, of course, and then we went on to with a comeback victory. But what the team needed to do is what South Africa did really well, actually, is analyze the conditions and play accordingly. Something that Australia didn't do this World Cup, this particular series. What they actually ended up doing is playing their natural game, coming out firing, and it actually costed them in the end. They came with one mentality, one approach. They didn't alter their approach. Now that can either backfire or it can work in their favor in the World Cup, because they are trying to perfect that style of cricket, no matter what the conditions are. Now, we're going to have to see how that plays out in this World Cup, because from what I've heard from different people that have analyzed this and that have looked at this game and prepared for this particular conditions in India, there has been an understanding that different pitches are going to do different things. There isn't going to be a consistency when it comes to different wickets. There are going to be certain ones that are low and slow. There are going to be ones that are a little bit more aiding for the fast bowlers. The dew is going to come into play in certain cities. So there's going to be um, a lot. That particular skill set of being able to read the condition and adapt your game is going to come very handy in this World Cup campaign. So that's what Rob is actually reiterated here as well.
Thanks, Stu. We're going to go Zahir, then Nathan.
How's it, Rob?
That's it.
Obviously, before the World Cup, you lost Anand Sisanda, and now Temba's going to go home. How do you keep within a squad, keeping the main thing, and just blocking out all the, everything else that's going around the team?
Yeah, look, obviously it's a fine balancing act, but I think it's still early days this year, and this World Cup campaign. So we're just getting into it. We had 3 excellent days of training. We're meant to play today. We took 2 knocks prior to leaving. And from Timber's point of view, we're hoping that he's back next week, so the sort of impact on the team will be negligible, really. We obviously would have loved for him to have played, but a guy like Temba has played a lot and played very well recently, so I'm not too worried about him personally. And from a team point of view, it's just one of those things. The guys are evolving and they understand how things roll and how to adapt pretty quickly these days.
Thanks. Gonna go Nathan, then Myron.
Thank you, Lisa, again. Rob, can you just speak about Tom? What impact has Tom had on the side? At the moment, obviously, you guys are on an upward curve at the moment in terms of performance.
I think Tom, for me, I think his role is underestimated in terms of the things that get done behind the scenes, really. So, from the coach's team point of view, he's great in terms of observing our coaching. He understands what we're trying to achieve, both in language and in action. So he's great in keeping us on track there. From a team point of view, he's made some nice connections with individuals who lean on him, when needs be, and then again an overall assessment of where the team's at. It's nice to have someone who's dipped his toe in the water from a cricket point of view, but also has had access to high performing teams in the rugby space, and then obviously in his own personal capacity. So yeah, just nice to have a fresh lens and fresh eyes. I think we're all trying to achieve the same thing together, and it's nice to have a differing view at times.
Yeah, in fact, Tom was actually my rugby coach in grade 9. So yeah, he was my under 15 rugby coach. Sam asking me why do we not upload the training videos? We were actually instructed by CSA not to. So if you guys have seen that around, it's not actually supposed to be uploaded onto YouTube or social media platforms, other than Cricket South Africa and Supersport and other TV channels can use it. We are not allowed to use it. We probably will get flagged, and for that as well, we were given strict instructions that the training videos are not allowed to be uploaded to social media or to YouTube. So that's the reason why I haven't uploaded it. Before we were allowed, we were given the permission before, but this time around, there were strict instructions for the download, that we weren't allowed to upload it, unfortunately. Aiden should play more left arm orthodox spinners in his net sessions, but problem is that we have Keshav in the World Cup squad. I'll get into the comments a little bit later.
Thanks. Myron?
How's it, Rob? Thanks, Lucy. Yeah, just a little bit of a follow-up on Tom's role. And Rob, can you just take us a little bit into where you guys are staying in Kerala? It looks quite beautiful from the pictures. How's the team settled in India? And unfortunate that you don't get a game in, but with a week to go, what are you guys doing outside of training and outside from a technical point of view?
Great question.
Obviously where you wanted to be ahead of the start of the World Cup.
Yeah, to be honest, the predominance of our time together has been on the training field, on the field or in the nets. Look, Tom currently is not here because he's just had the birth of his baby daughter, so he'll be joining us soon enough. But from a team point of view, again, we spend a hell of a lot of time together. We were together obviously throughout the series against Australia, and being here for me is really just a continuation of that, continuation of the things that we're working on. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to do anything significantly differently. We're trying to just continually upskill ourselves, continually connect tightly as a team, and be ready for whatever's in front of us over the coming weeks.
Thanks, Myron. Going to go Neil, and then if there are any other further questions, just a reminder to please raise your hand. Go ahead, Neil.
Oh, sorry. Hello, Rob. Sorry if I missed this. Not today, but I just wondered if you could provide some clarity on Sisanda's position. Obviously, we had Ryan Rickleton a little earlier, a year ago, not going to Australia and then playing a full season for the Lions, and Sisanda looked pretty good on TV when he bowled the other day for the Lions. I just wondered if you could provide some clarity on that.
Yeah, look, I mean, the decision on Sisanda was an incredibly difficult one. I think first and foremost, you know, every squad that I've picked since being head coach has had him in it because I do value him as a performer for this team. But unfortunately, throughout the Aussie series, you know, we just couldn't get him on the park, and everyone was working hard to make that happen, but it just didn't happen. And as you would have read, the regulations for the World Cup are very different to those with the Lions. You know, if he pulls up for the Lions through the game or before the game, he just gets replaced. However, the World Cup, it's a little bit different in that we can't replace him if he arrives with an existing injury, which was the case. So we had to make a call based on that risk and put the team endeavours first. You know, the last thing we need is to, you know, be in a World Cup where we're carrying a bowler and all the legwork has to be done by the 5 other fast bowlers in the team. So yeah, I mean, it's no more complicated than that. You know, just the risk of him with that debilitating injury. It is a chronic tendinopathy, so it can flare up at any stage. And with that in mind, we just couldn't take the risk of having him here. You know, all things being equal, you know, from our point of view, I hope he does play, and I hope he does continue to play. And we do miss him here. But at the end of the day, you know, we don't have a crystal ball, and we couldn't predict other than what was in front of us over the weeks, you know, that led up to the decision.
Okay, so that makes total sense. And that was explained on the show I did with Werner. We didn't presume that that was the case because it is a massive risk. Because throughout the Australia series, he was struggling and then suddenly injured, and then he played, and then he was injured again. So you can't have that situation in a World Cup because obviously then you can't replace the player. Because if they're coming into the tournament with an existing injury, so that is a risk, and that makes total sense. Because the Lions can replace him if anything happens and there's no issues over there. So, but if you're in the World Cup in India with the ICC regulations, it makes total sense. So, yeah, let's continue.
Thanks, Neil. We're going to go take one from Percival, then Zahir.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Good afternoon, Coach. Coach, can I ask you, my colleague Nathan asked you a question. I'm just going to ask you to try and rephrase that question again. Maybe just clarity on Timber. There's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing to be concerned about him. Or is it, has he had to go home to go and celebrate something, though, sir?
No, there's nothing wrong with Thames personally. So it is a personal, you know, family reason that he's gone home.
Is he any close? Timber has become a father?
Can't comment on that.
Thanks, Percival. We're going to go Zahir, then Kaz.
Very short one. What is Tom's actual designated title?
So as the team's performance coach.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Zahir. We got Kaz.
So people are all puzzled about Tom.
Hi, Rob. I'm sure very frustrating, and it seems like more rain being predicted over the next couple of days here. Always expectation around South Africa at World Cups, and just listening to commentators, they all have you in the top 4. As coach and knowing South Africa's history in World Cups and the journey, how are you taking the team through this journey around expectation?
People ask me questions. Guys, I'm sorry, man, but the question about their babies, a father, that was hilarious. I'm sorry. Oh, my Lord. It's actually a waste of a question ultimately because it's not even important really what the reason is. I mean, they would have disclosed it if they wanted it to be disclosed, but anyway.
Not too much commentary, but things must have changed. A few weeks ago, we were, I think, 6 to 8. so it's nice that the perception has changed of the team a little bit. But I mean, as you say, I think the expectations of the team never change. You know, South Africans are proud sports people. They're a proud cricket-loving nation. They want to see the team do well. Everyone is, has this burning desire to see us lift a World Cup trophy. The team's no different. I think the most important thing is one of the oldest cliches in the book. It's a cliche for the reason is that we're just building up to game one. Need to hit the ground running for game one. This World Cup, I think, will be incredibly tight. There isn't a bad team in the World Cup. I think anyone can beat anyone on a day. And for us, it's really about making sure we rock up each day, starting with obviously our prep now, and then when Sri Lanka arrives for the first official game, we take that game, as our first building block towards hopefully something significant at the end of it.
Yeah, so in my editor's note, actually, for the World Cup, you guys will read it, what I've said, and you'll see with the cover story and what I've gone with, the angle that I'm kind of going with this particular magazine. Everybody has basically written South Africa. Well, I've seen a lot of fans write South Africa off in this particular World Cup, not saying necessarily that they're going to be in the top four. Um, they are not convinced that South Africa can make it into the semi-finals, and I think that plays into South Africa's hands at the end of the day. I think the first step for South Africa would first be to improve on last campaign. It was a terrible, horrendous campaign. Lost three in the first three matches they lost as well, and got exited out of the group stages. They were out of the tournament before it even began, before the tournament really began, because I remember we played like games in the first week and we lost all three. So the tournament just started and we were out of the tournament already, basically. So the only thing that South Africa can do is improve on that. That's that's the first step, is for them to win the first game and start the campaign off better than they did the last season, and then constantly improve on that. It's also going to be very important that this team comes together and fights together, because I think as a team, if they if they leave everything on the field in every single game that they play, I think us as fans would be happy. I don't know if you guys agree. Let me know if you agree with that. If you see South Africa put in performances where they are giving 100%, and then at the end of the day they lose because they were outplayed, would you feel as bad as if we played showed no energy, like in the game against the Netherlands in the T20 World Cup, where we showed a lack of energy and then we lose the match? Um, those are the two scenarios. And I think if South Africa come together as a team and they fight together as a unit, we stand a good chance to make it far in this tournament. And at least the first stepping stone should be to start this tournament better than we did the last. And that should be the first aim. I think that is what we should focus on. Play every single game one at a time, read the conditions, play according to the conditions. And I think we put ourselves in the best possible position that we can put ourselves in. We can then play to our full potential at least. If our full potential is not winning the World Cup, then so be it. But at least I want to see us play to our full potential in every single game.
Wishing you all the best.
Thanks, guys.
Great. We're going to go Nathan, and then we will take a very last one from Myron.
Thank you very much again, Lucy. Rob, next game on Monday against New Zealand, we're seeing the women's side led by Laura Wolford played against New Zealand as well and scored a century. What will you be expecting from that warm-up game against them at Greenfield Stadium?
Firstly, it's awesome to see the ladies doing so well.
I don't understand
continue
what
to
the
set a great
correlation
standard.
is between the two.
As I said, it's awesome to see them and Laura playing so well. From our point of view, I think it's really important to put warm-up games into context. So we need to get out of it what we need. Most importantly, we want to just keep playing well and keep playing well with our brand. New Zealand teams are always competitive. They're currently playing right now. And so they continue to have played a fair bit of cricket in the last little while. So we know that it's a competitive game. If we do get on the field, it's always great to have strong competition as you lead into a World Cup tournament. So, I don't think it'll be any different if we do get on the field. And as I said, we'll certainly be looking to make sure we get the max out of that fixture as we possibly can.
Yeah, talking about that New Zealand game, New Zealand did win that particular match against Pakistan. And it was 345 for 5 by Pakistan. I did watch the game as well. I just didn't get to see the last the New Zealand innings much. Um, but New Zealand chased down the 345 in 43.4 overs. So they won with 38 balls remaining and won by 5 wickets. And all of their batters got a run out. So that's a concern for South Africa because we now haven't had a warm up game under our belt. It's going to go straight and we possibly won't get any warm up match in the next game. It looks like it's going to rain once again in Trivandrum. So it's a issue because I was hoping that we would get these two warm up games. It was the perfect opportunity for us to just like get familiar with the surroundings, with the pitches, etc. And that's not going to be the case this time out now. We're going to be sitting with a situation where we're going to come in cold into a World Cup for our first World Cup game. So yeah, how much is rain going to affect this World Cup in India? We're going to have to wait and see. It might turn out to be not such a smart move to add this World Cup in India. So we're gonna have to wait and see how much rain is going to affect this World Cup. I hope that it doesn't. Rain has affected most World Cups that have been played outside of like Australia, etc. So let's just hope that this isn't the case this time around. Let's get into the comment section. I think second match against New Zealand will also be in Trivandrum. So it might also get called off um, to beautiful rain. Yes, that's what I just said now. Bangladesh won against Sri Lanka. They chased their target, and New Zealand chased down their target of 347 against Pakistan as well in their practice matches. SA should play Gerald Kutsia every game. He can impact player for SA. You probably will play majority if we don't play two spinners. Then you will probably play. Can net practice be done during the rain, or nothing can be done during the rain because tomorrow and day after are also rain predicted? According to Rob, they have been training and having net sessions. Tomorrow, India versus England match will be big practice match, says Suraj. I've watched that press conference. Awesome. Sam saying, Harley, the first match of SA on 7 October against Sri Lanka in Arun Jetli. And I observed after checking scorecard of matches in Arun Jetli that left arm orthodox spins get more wickets in this venue. So we need to um, learn how to play against them, of course. Aiden is quite vulnerable against quality left arm spin, says Suraj. Sri Lanka have great spinners who can be problems to SA, like Tuntik Walige and Tikana. Aiden needs to use his feet against spin. That's something that I have spoken about with regards to Aiden. He can improve his foot movement, etc. against spin. But I've seen him grow in leaps and bounds against spinners. He's really become a lot more composed against them. Second warm-up game will be a washout too. According to the weather report, it is 100% chance of rain. So it's mad. It's going to be a little bit of a down one for us. Needs to play sweep shots on a regular basis, says him. Aiden should play more and more left arm orthodox spinners in his net sessions, but problem is that we only have Keshav in World Cup squad. Lawrence Bailey says, but they'll probably have net bowlers that do bowl. They probably will have net bowlers that will be bowling there as well for him to practice. South Africa's venues: Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Kolkata, Ahmedabad, Lucknow, and Dharmasala. 75% of those venues are traditional sprint friendly. Mumbai offers good pace and spin, with Dharmasala good pace. So yeah, but we're going to be able to have to adapt to all of the different types of conditions if we want to be able to win or get far in this World Cup. Suraj says Baba Woman needs to perform in this World Cup. He is in very good form in bilaterals, but needs to perform in the World Cup where it matters most. He needs to lead from the front, and all players need to do, and all players need to up their game in this World Cup because it's the ICC World Cup. It's what matters most. Yes, we all know that. That's obvious, but South Africa hasn't had the best of luck, or not. I wouldn't say luck. It's been terrible World Cup campaigns. I mean, I think we've lost in the semi-final four times. I think 92, 99, 2011, and 2015. Falling out of the semi-finals. We fell out of the quarterfinals and group stages. We've had terrible World Cup campaigns, and we need to find a way on how to get over this hurdle. And I'm hoping that this is the start of it. I'm hoping that this could be the start of it, because then there will be a lot less pressure on us to win the 2027 one, even though we will be aiming for that. If we can win back-to-back World Cups, imagine that. If we can win this one and then win that one, it would be marvelous. But I'm being optimistic, of course, because I always believe in my team and that they can do it. And I believe that if they all come together and they leave everything on the field every game, I honestly do think that we can go very far in this tournament, possibly semi and final. So, and in semi-finals and finals, anything can happen. But I think what we need to do is we need to play with passion, play with intensity, play as a team. Run well between the wickets, bowl in pairs. And then if we can do that and build good foundations, then our star X Factor players will stand out even more. It will give them the platform to be able to do their thing. So, but I do think we need to bat in units, bat in pairs, bowl in pairs, build partnerships, etc. If we want to win, and fielding intensity needs to be on at utmost high. Only way Sri Lanka has a chance was SA. The second warm-up game of theirs is washed out. Two, all players needs to up their game in this World Cup, because it's the World Cup that matters most. Oh yeah, I read that out already. Harley, do you agree that Marco is our 7 for the World Cup? Then if Andile play, he will play at 8. Then that's the point? If SA wanted a bowler as a replacement of Magala, why they selected Andile? They can go with with huh? With prop now. Oh, with proper bowler. Sorry. I think Andile was picked up for his batting performance as well and his experience. In certain grounds, he will be valuable. His slow deliveries, his pace. So I don't think that the criticism of him is fair. South Africa should play Rabada, Marco Jansen, Jerukutsia, and Gidi as pace bowlers, and Keshaf or Shamsi if the pitches are pace. If pitches are pacer friendly, yeah, and then otherwise they need to play the two spinners. I think they need to trust that a lot more. Main thing is for SA. Main thing for SA that they do not take any team lightly. Play just for win. Give up exactly what I said earlier on. People are daft if they think SA can't. Lawrence says people are daft if they think SA can't at a minimum qualify for the semi-final. We have one of the best and most informed top 6 in the world, and if our batters fire along with Rabada, Shamsi, and Kesh, we are there. Yes, and we need a big performance from Kesh. Lawrence saying, what's the ladies got to do with the guys being? I don't understand how the question was asked in one. Is it just that there was a correlation or connection between that, the fact that the Proteas women are playing New Zealand and now we're playing New Zealand in a warm-up? Like, the question could have been asked separately if they wanted Rob to comment on the women's game and then ask a question about, I don't know. It was a strange one. Former Indian cricketers and pundits are rating SA's squad very high. Irfan Pathan even said that SA will play the final. SA really spent and waste on Vian Mulder after this World Cup. No. I don't know what you're saying, bro. Pakistan is a hopeless team. I hope we could destroy them in our main draw game. Strike rotation is one of the major things if you are playing in India. You need to rotate the strike. This SA can work on. And this is something that I've spoken about a hell of a lot. Bro, I've seen it a lot today. The Indian and Pakistan pundits actually rate our chances really high. Simon Dole even said he thinks SA can go all the way. We have a good enough squad. We do have a very good squad. And I think that people are being a little bit harsh on South Africa and our abilities. But I understand as well why they feel that way, because I don't. I guess they want to take the Mary Jane route, or not the Mary Jane, actually. Sorry, the MJ route. Um, expect to be disappointed so that you never have to be disappointed. Like you expect to be disappointed, so that you will never be disappointed. And because South Africa are in a situation where they are kind of where cricket fans are currently sitting in a situation where the World Cups have been terrible. Year after year after year, our hearts have been broken. So we expect the worst now. Um, but I don't think that's the right mentality. I think we should continuously believe, regardless of the heartbreak, because it just takes one good team unit, one good togetherness team coming together as a unit, and consistency. And I think currently, more than ever before, I think we have batters that are able to score consistently in games on the trot. And I think what I like about this team is that we've consistently had great starts. Despite whether Quinton de Kock went on to score 100 or Pavuma, they've built group partnerships from the start consistently, games in a row, not just once off and then it dies out a bit and then someone saves us. We've played as units over here. Our batting unit has played as a team. We just need our bowlers to get some rhythm. And that was the most important part for me about the warm-up games, is that our bowlers get a rhythm so that they're not coming cold into our first World Cup game. That is my concern about us, our warm-up games being rained out. Because I don't think it is very fair. It's really fair on the teams that some are now going to have warm-up games and others aren't going into this World Cup campaign. I think it's really actually unfair, because it's an opportunity for these players to to let themselves free with no repercussions, to open themselves up with no repercussions. Khalid, I don't want to talk about Test cricket right now. Who are SA's three reserves? No idea. There isn't. They aren't. So South Africa have gone with an approach. This is the reason why they moved the One Day Cup series forward. They switched it around. Normally, we start with a T20 competition and then the 4 day campaign. We've moved the One Day Cup forward so that because of the ICC rules, um, you can't replace a player. You can't take an injured player to the World Cup, basically, or a person that has an injury. And then, of course, what they want to do is, if there's someone that is injured on the World Cup, in the World Cup, they are going to then, at that stage, bring someone from the um, they're going to then bring someone from the One Day Cup that is performing well in to replace the player that is injured at the World Cup. So by moving the One Day Cup forward, they can make sure that everybody in our domestic system is in form. I mean, we even saw Andile play. So if they're making sure that everybody is in form, so that if they have to call up someone, those players would have had cricket under their belts. They're not sitting as reserves, not getting any game time, and just waiting around and not staying fit. At least then you are calling up someone that is already played some games, is in form, has a rhythm already, and can come straight into a game and perform. And I think that's a great strategy, actually. SA Netherlands being the third game won't be bad for SA. Imagine if it was the last game for them, like last time. South Africa better to be the underdog that will play freely, and I agree. We would destroy the Netherlands this time at Damshala. Enough of them minnows. Lauren saying 2007 as well. Yes. Alps being the third game. It was the last game since it's SA. You never know. Buffer King says this is going to be a sour-ish World Cup for traditional cricket lovers. Two batter-friendly pitches. We'll see at least 4 matches of 400 plus scores. Chatley saying which side outside the likely top four will be the most challenging game for SA to navigate through this World Cup. I think Bangladesh. Um, I mean, remember that game at Adelaide? It's payback time. Yeah, we just want them to. I want them to focus on one day at a time, one game at a time. Look at the conditions, play according to the conditions. But I also want to see them um, try and leave everything on the field and play with a certain intensity consistently. Uh, Are semifinals in the most experts' eyes? They are in most experts' eyes or semifinalists. I don't know why they're putting that pressure on everybody. Harley, please take Brevis Reinhard Herman Stubbs into your daily show, please. I will contact them during the season. They obviously playing games, etc. And on the off times, I'll get them on. Particularly if they perform in the One Day Cup, I will definitely contact them and bring them on. Harley, which squad do you think is better, the squad or the 2019 one? Definitely the squad, because we pulled out with a lot of injuries in the last squad. And it was quite an aging team as well. I think the squad is better than the 2019 squad, to be honest. We're way more in form. Everybody's averaging 50 plus in the top six, other than Quinny and I think David. I think everybody else is like, okay, let's just say everybody's averaging about 40, 50, 60, some even so in the top six. So I think we are in an excellent run of form going into this World Cup. I think the squad is a better squad. I don't agree that the Proteas are going as underdogs. I think they are one of to go through to the semi-final, one of the favorites to go through to the semi-final. My problem with the squad is our bowling. Yes, I think that's most of our problem. We missing the main thing is we miss Andrich. We're going to miss Andrich a hell of a lot. And again, in the 2019 World Cup, he was also not available. Dale Steyn also injured. So we had a lot of issues with the bowlers in the 2019 World Cup heading into that tournament, which kind of put us in the butt, in the arse. So ultimately, we're hoping that this time around, it's nice to have someone like Gerald Coetzee that is maybe a little bit of an unknown because of his pace. It might really surprise people because they've never faced him, some of the players. So let's hope that that works in our favor. But at least this time around, we just need KG and Lungi to be back to their best. And then our spinners also to be consistent. If SA enters the semis, anything can happen. They have never made a final, so don't have any baggage in that. Amit says, I don't think batsmen should run too much during day or they will get cramps like Mitch Marsh just got in the third ODI and Faf Quinton de Kock got in the 2015 ODI series. Searching boundaries is better during the daytime. Harley, do you like the 3-4-3 back four lineup? Huh? Are you talking football here? The 3-4-3, are you talking about the 3-4-3 formation? I'm not a big fan of the 3-4-3 formation, to be honest. I prefer back four. Our batters need to be careful. Opposition teams might mancad our batters or not strike on the non-strikers in. If we actually deep things, we're running out of World Cups. 2023 and 2027 are even spoken about as the last 250 over tournaments. Need to win one before it goes extinct. I hope it doesn't go extinct, really. Lots of pundits said that before Andrik Nokia injured and get replaced. Lazar Williams and Andile, two players who don't done anything special, will play World Cup. So sad. I don't think it's sad. Khalid, I'm very scared of our game against Bangladesh, especially the seamers. Taskin Ahmed ran through our batting lineup last time. Yeah, Bangladesh is a team that I am a bit worried about in these conditions. My all hopes are on the IPL experience of the boys. That's the difference maker. The only problem with not taking reserves to a World Cup is if we lose a player a day before a game. No time to fly in a player and give them minimum prep to be match ready. That is a problem. That is the only problem with it. We lack a swing bowler. You know, Marco swings the ball but doesn't have accuracy. We should have given opportunities to Nandre Berger, Siskani. Nandre Berger had been pulling up with injuries left, right, and center. I think they would have considered Nandre Berger last season if he didn't pull up with so many injuries, and then he would have been had a shot for this particular World Cup. 23 squad is way better. I agree. We shouldn't take any teams lightly, especially Bangladesh. Nope. That's why I said every single game this World Cup campaign, we need to take it as it is, as if it's our last. We need to put everything out there in the middle. We need to fight and gain momentum in that way. Because South Africa, you could see, as the belief grows, we get stronger and stronger and more accurate. I want us to start off with a bang and then continuously increase our performances as we go along, and continuously improve. Uh, so yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this Friday show. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe, guys. Um, I just want to let you guys know that we are 10, 10 subscribers away from 4K. So please go and tell your friends and family to go subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. You just need 10 more subscribers that love South African cricket to follow us and to hit that next milestone. It would really be great to see that 4K pop up on the screen. All of you guys as well, I would like you guys to please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. It's a domestic edition, but we are working on the World Cup edition that I'm hoping to publish tomorrow. Um, I'm working very hard to get it done by tomorrow and publish it to you guys, the World Cup edition. We will definitely publish it before South Africa's first game. That's a definite. So please go ahead and get your subscribe now so that you can get the notification on when that comes out. If you want to support us, please support us and keep us going here at Cricket Fanatics Magazine and show your support for us by becoming a patron today. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. I'd also like you guys to please like and comment and share. That's how we get spread out on the YouTube verse. And then go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your updates. We also have for businesses and entrepreneurs that are looking to get new customers and market to them forever. We have a free book in the description below that we put together to explain to you guys how us at Cricket Fanatics Magazine can help you. So please go ahead and download that book and become a part of our list. Thanks a lot for everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Enjoy your weekend as well, guys. Have a great weekend. And if you're in the Cape Town area, there's going to be storms again. So please be safe out there on the roads. I'll speak to you guys very soon. Stay safe. Peace out.